In the last class, we looked at the flare side of this skirt, and in today's class, we're going to be looking at the fitted skirt area, waist to knee, that does not have any dart, and how it fits. If it looks like what you want to know, please kindly watch to the end and leave a comment. Welcome to Class Summit. For us to draft our skirt without darts both front and back, this is a pattern paper divided into two, front and back. Okay, center front and center back. Now we're going to measure waist to hip. This is the waistline I just touched. Waist to hip measurements. According to your measurements, here I'm using 9.5 from waist to the widest part of the hip. Everyone does not use the same. Okay, so according to what you measured, we're going to rule it across. So this is for the front that we're working on first. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to measure my waist measurement, circumference, divide by 4, and that is where I marked it. And then I'll measure my hip circumference, divide by 4, right? And that is where I'm equally going to mark it. Remember, I divided everything by 4. You can choose to divide however you wish. So at this point, you can use a straight ruler to connect it. I think I came back to use a straight ruler, looking at the person's body shape and what I have on paper. I need it to be straight. Okay, so we're moving on. Now to the back also, we are not yet done with the front. I will go in by 0.75, which is 3/4 of an inch, to slant the back to give it a back shape. Okay, every measurement I'm going to have for the waist will now begin after the 0.75. So I will take my waist circumference again, divide by 4, plus 1 inch dart intake, which we're going to remove later. And the same thing applies to the back. Hip measurement, divide by 4. Okay, and then I'm going to connect from the waist to the hip. I know this marking may not be too clear, too visible, but then following the explanation, I believe you're going to get it all right. Okay, I'll try and make it more visible next time. So at that point, we do not need it. Now we're going to mark our dart position. The center of our measurements will be our dart position. Okay, so on each of the dart line, we're going to mark 1/2 inch at the center of the dart position, which is at the middle of our measurement. I will mark 1/2 inch on both sides and take it down to 6 inches, 6 or 6.5 inches before the hip line. Okay, so I'm measuring to be sure that what I have at the top is what I'll have at the lower part of the dart line, so that it gives me a straight line. I hope you're following this. So I'm going to connect it on a straight line, and then I'll connect the dart legs too to the dart point. So at this point, if you've not subscribed, please kindly do well to subscribe to this channel, and you'll be happy you did. Thank you. Okay, so we're making progress. We're still moving forward. Okay, so this is just a recap of what has been done before. Now this is the length of the skirt stops at the knee line. So to tighten the knee area, we're going to minus round knee circumference or round knee measurement from the round hip measurement. So the round hip here is 40 or 42, and the round knee measurement is 37. So we're going with round hip measurement of 42 minus 37 for round knee measurement. Okay, so whatever it gives us, we're going to divide it into 2, because this paper is half of the round measurement. So we're dividing it into 2, and that gives us 2.5. So the 2.5, we're going to share it between the front and the back. So at the front, you can minus 1 inch from the hip measurements and then share the remaining 1.5 inch for the back side and the center back. I hope this is understood. Okay, so I'm connecting from the hip measurement to where my measurements for the knee tightening stops. Okay, so we've tightened the front knee. We're equally going to tighten the back knee, like I said. So we're going to divide the 1.5 inch into two, which is 0.75. So from the edge, I'll mark 0.75 in and connect it towards the hip line. You can come down from the hip 1 inch below and connect it, so you don't have pointy side on the hip line. And then at the side too, we're going to minus 0.75 from the knee measurement and we connect it. And we're going to connect from the hip side for the back down to the knee measurement or the knee tightening. I hope this explanation is quite clear. You that is watching this video, if you have any question, do well to ask your question. If there's any objection, if there's any suggestion, do well to make it in the comment section. Okay, and you can also tell us what you think about the video. So I'm trying to confirm if my measurement of 37 is intact. So I'll measure from the front to the back, escaping the parts that are not part of our measurement, and actually it corresponds. That is 18.5. Okay, so that is 37 inches that we have around the knee measurement. Now for the front, we are not yet done. We want to lower the center front by 1 inch so that we do not have smile lines around the waistline or below the waistline. Okay, so we're going to go down by 1 inch and connect it to our waist measurement. Okay, so we're going to cut that part off. Now our front pattern is ready, so it's now time to close the back darts. If you watch closely, the front does not have any darts and it is fine like that. There is no problem with it. It's just going to fit. Okay, so for the back, we're going to close the darts, and this is what we do. Connect the darts leg down to the hip line and then slash the hip line open towards the darts leg and stop it there. Okay, so we're now going to close the waist dart for the back. We're closing the waist dart for the back. I hope this video makes so much sense to you. So once you close the waist dart, you tape it down and the fullness transfers to the hip line. Okay, this works very well with someone who has a larger backside. So if you have a larger backside and you need it to position very well around your hip and butt, this is just the best method that you can use. Although closing of the back dart is not compulsory, this is optional. You can decide to sew it and you'll be fine. Okay, so it's not a bad idea having different ways of doing things. So we're going to put paper underneath to hold the back side together and then trim it out. Arrange it properly and trim it out with my curve, but don't make it so much curvy. Okay, so I'm going to use the scissors and cut it out following the paper that I have already. And then the slanted line that we have, we're going to cut it out at the back. Then the tightening for the back side, the center back, we're going to cut it out. Okay, so our pattern is fine. Now for the back side, the waist back, we don't want it to have any form of bulge at the zip line, at the zipper area. So I'm going to lower the from the dart side to the center back, you can see it, by 0.25, not up to half an inch. If you make it half an inch, it's going to look somehow. Remember that you also took your back length for the back, so half an inch will be too much. 0.25, just to put it at where it's supposed to be. Follow the dart line and remove that excess that is there. This will help the zipper to relax very well, no matter what, no matter how deep your back is. Okay, so I'm cutting 0.25 out from there, and that is it. Make sure you trim it properly to align very well. I hope this voice is not too slow. I hope you gain value from watching this video. So this is our front and this is our back. Okay, so label your pattern so you know which side belongs to which. Okay, the up and the back and the down and whatever you need to label, we're going to now cut it off, excluding the parts that is not necessary. So if what I'm demonstrating, if you want to extend it more to a long skirt, you can actually just add a straight paper down. If you want it to be flay, this is just the right pattern for you. Okay, you can add your paper and slash it open to wherever you want the flay to start. All right, so this is what we have for a skirt pattern, a dartless skirt pattern that fits like glove. Okay, you can use any fabric of your choice. Here we're going to be using Ankara fabric. I hope you learned something so well from this video tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.